Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. This is Vikeejeah. For those of you who are new, welcome you. And for those of you who are returning J-Bays, I just want to say welcome back, and I appreciate you. So today, if you haven't seen my live first impressions of Mothership VIII Divine Rose 2 by Auntie Pat, then I am going to do a full-on, a correct review and demo of this palette where I'm not totally spazzing and I can give you guys my, concise thoughts. And if you're not a J-Bay, I feel like you should be, and I think you will agree after this video that you should be. So in advance, just to keep yourself from being distracted, why don't you go ahead and subscribe. The subscribe button will turn from red to gray, and that makes you a J-Bay. And J-Bays are the best bays on YouTube because they're my bays who tune in whenever I upload to chit chat and all that about luxury beauty. And speaking of luxury beauty, darling, Mother just gave us a fantastic masterclass in which she did a full-on demonstration of Divine Rose 2, and I thought it only fitting that I come through for you guys and give you something else to look forward to with this palette. I feel like it is just, artistry is just the perfect word for this palette, which is what she calls it. It is called Mothership VIII Divine Rose 2 Artistry Palette. This is the 8th Mothership. If you're not familiar with the Motherships, they're the 10-pan eyeshadow palettes that feature mattes, shimmers, metallics, and of course, Mother's special shades. And this one in particular is super special because it features the first trichrome in Pat McGrath Labs history. And I've definitely played with this palette at least 4 times, so I can give you my full-on thoughts about the palette, and I'm going to demonstrate for you guys today as many of the colors as I possibly can, including how to use them on places on your face other than your eyes. All of Mother's Motherships come with this beautiful, artistically fantastic packaging. It's a cardboard box, but it is beautifully decorated to reflect the theme of this given Mothership. And so this one is Divine Rose 2. I do not have my box for Divine Rose 1 because I keep all my boxes together, but I can show you what Divine Rose 1 looks like on the inside. So when you get your Mothership, it will come inside here, and it will also feature a name card for the colors in the palette because she does not include that on the inside. So you keep the cute little card and you know what's what. So here, my dear friends, and she is loved. Just know that before we go in, okay? Here is Divine Rose 2. My goodness. Oh, man. It's just so gorgeous. And I have, for your reference, Divine Rose 1 right here. So let's get them in the same shot. So here we are, right? We've got 1 and 2. This one is definitely more muted. It's more everyday and cool tone, generally speaking. And then this one here is a little more warm tone. You can definitely tell by that gold, for example. And it's more vivid. It's more of a punch. It's more of a pow, boom, boom, pow, if you will. And it features colors that you can actually use on your cheeks as blush and highlight options as well. So let me just roll up my sleeve here. Okay, here we go. So I am going to go from the top row across, and then I'm going to do it again. So we're going to go this way, and then we're going to go that way. All right. And so first up is going to be Skin Show. In every Mothership has a Skin Show. This one in particular is Skin Show Rose Opal. And here's the shade. Very smooth. And it has a beautiful pink iridescence. Rose Opal is perfect to describe it. You can see that shift, hopefully. And who am I? I don't have my wipes. Give me 1 second. Next up is pretty much the transition shade, right? This is one of 2 mattes in the palette, and this one is Naked Blush. Naked Blush is absolutely gorgeous. I mean, that is just the prettiest pinky nude ever. It's like a blush nude, and I'm going to double it up because on me as a transition shade, it does blend in really beautifully, but I want you guys to see that pink. So I'm going to give it like a nice warm up there. Boom. So now you can actually see the pink. It is such a great transition shade. This is something you can wear all over your lid, you know, just for every day. You can even pop opal in the tear duct real quick and just sweep it into the lid space a little bit. That is a look. That is a freaking look, okay? Next up is Eleganza. Eleganza reminds me of Pose. I hope most of you can get that reference, but it just, gives me so much life. This is one of my absolute favorite colors in this palette. It just is, it's so sophisticated. It's so elegant. It's like the name, Eleganza. Hello. It just gives you, like this right here, this trio, this is a moment. You could do a whole eye look with this right here and just be done. Like, inspiration everywhere. Next one is one of the special shades, and it is Bronze Rose 005. Ooh-wee, honey. Oh, she needs to make a quad out of this. I would buy it again. Do you understand? Bam. There she is right there. Get into her. That is Bronze Rosé number 005. Bronze Rosé 005, y'all. That is just... I'm sorry. I stopped because I was staring at it. I'm so into it. I love it so much. Okay. And then the last shade on this top row is going to be the gold. And this is Gold Lust 001. I mean, who wouldn't, right? Lust after this bad boy right here. That is a true yellow gold. And I'm being very gentle with these swipes, with these swatches, just because I want to treat my baby right, you know? But, I mean, the impact, mother's impact. And so next up is going to be the next special shade, and it's Astral Pink Moon. Oh my goodness. Okay, so Astral Pink Moon, check that out. Let me just give you it's blinding. It's blinding. So I put that right in the inner corner there. Here she is. It is very different in texture from the astral shade in this one. Here's the astral shade. I don't have my card with me. I'm sorry. The texture has changed and is smoother, and still maintains the impact. So I think that that's a step up from, like, it's a little upgrade, 2.0, if you will, of the astral formula. And next up's the trichrome, y'all. This is Sextra Terrestrial, otherworldly. And here she is, darling. Oh my goodness. Oh, this is just literally the perfect angle to show you everything that's going on in there. You got your pink, you got your bright green, you got your deep green, you got your hints of purple. I call it a multi-chrome because whatever you see is what it is. You know what I mean? Oh my gosh. Oh, and you can truly just sweep, and I've seen people do it. You could sweep this right on your lid, and just buff it out and then deepen it wherever you want to deepen it. And it is truly a one and done with major impact. And it's not over the top. It's just so elegant and still so impactful. I hope I'm giving it justice. I hope I'm explaining it well, because like this is the color. Even though this entire palette is absolutely magnificent, she's the reason that we're jumping for her. All right, like that is just the truth. Let's not even play around. Next up is the color that I was most drawn to when I initially saw the palette, and this is Rose Seduction. Now I do want to caution you that Rose Seduction is considered to be not eye safe because it is a pigment as opposed to being a shadow. You can put it on your eyes, y'all. It'll just stain if you're not, if you're maybe of a fairer complexion or just not careful. But it can stain. It's not, and it can irritate your eyes depending on your sensitivity. I've used it on my eyes 4 times already, and I can tell you that I haven't had a personal problem with it. It's also a really awesome blush. So if you don't want to use it on your eyes because you're a little nervous, just use it as a blush. I mean, it's got a beautiful sheen to it. It's not a matte. It's got a beautiful satin finish. So this is going to be a gorgeous, like, luminous blush as well. And then we've got Divine Dusk, which is another fave of mine. Divine Dusk, here we are. This is the same kind of formula as Rose Seduction. I just want to give you a little more because I want y'all to see that impact. I mean, that is one and done. There's so many colors in this palette that are one and done for me. For me, the girl who loves to just be, you know, popping. My thesaurus shut off. Y'all, I'm sorry. But this is like the one that I would absolutely reach for if I just was like in a hurry and I wanted it to look, I wanted my lids to look really pretty, but not like overly done. That's the color for me. Maybe a little eleganza thrown in for good measure. Lastly, but not least, certainly not least, a very integral color in this palette is Extreme Burgundy. Wow. Shout out to Alicia because this is her favorite shade in the palette. Kinky Sweat. So there she is. That is your crease color in this palette. It is also just an all over lid shade, y'all. This is a very versatile palette. And I think a lot of people were saying initially that Divine Rose 1 was the most wearable palette. I want to challenge that a little bit. I want to say that for deeper skin tones, this one is the most wearable because none of these are ashy. I just want to get that, like, come on, this is Mother. None of these are ashy, but for the girl who is of a deeper complexion that, you know, even richer than myself, that may want something for every day that is going to still show up and not look too muted, this one would be the one to go to. And talk about versatility. You've got blushes in here. You've got highlights in here. This is a face palette. It's not just an eyeshadow palette. And so for me, it's the one that has the most value to it as well. So if you could still get your hands on this, definitely do. I'm going to, of course, link it for you in the description box anywhere where it is still on sale and not sold out. So, you know, I got you, per usual. So let's clean on up and talk about how I achieved this eye look right here, honey. Ooh, look at that blend. Look at that bling. I'm feeling extra sexy today. I am wearing so much Pat and I'm going to have the full list of the products that I am wearing in the description box for you. Everything that I have on my face is still available for purchase. So holla at that. That's quite great. First up, I dipped right into Extreme Burgundy. I did not go in with the transition this time because I didn't want the light pink. I really wanted it to be like deep. And that's what I mean by, being of a deeper complexion and wanting a certain level of intensity, but still being wearable. That's where I'm going with this. And I actually initially took it in on a fluffy brush just to get that transition going. And then I went back in with a densely packed brush and I gave myself a little bit of depth in the crease and the outer V, brightening the inner third of my eye with Gold Lust 001. I wanted to use this color because there are some people who feel like this color doesn't really belong in the palette. And I challenge that as well and say that it is meant to be the pop. Now, most people feel like Rose Seduction is the pop in the palette, but it's the gold, y'all. It's the gold because the Rose Seduction actually shows up on the skin when you're deeper complected. It doesn't show up as punchy as it does in the palette. It actually, I don't know. I don't want to say safe. I just feel like it shows up in a way that is more wearable. Let's go with that. Well, I think the punch is actually in the gold. It's the pop that still goes with everything in the palette. Yellow and pink are an absolute match made in heaven. And so you've got that little bit of gold, and I just blended it in with Rose Seduction, as a matter of fact. That's what I used on my mobile lid space. I just buffed that in, and as you can see on my lid, it is not the super duper bright pink that you see in the pan, similar to what would be on my lips, for example. That's what you're thinking you're going to get on your lid. That's not what you get on your lid unless you wet it. So if you just go in dry, you're going to get something that is a beautiful pink, but is still something that is a little more wearable. And then next, I can't really seem to do an eye look without touching Sextraterrestrial. So I went in with Sextraterrestrial to further blend my crease, my outer V with my mobile lid space. So it was kind of the transition between the two. And it's there, it gives you a little hint of something, but it's not, I don't know, I think it's sexy. Like it says, sextraterrestrial. It's just like, ooh, I saw something. Wait a second, what is that? And I love that about this particular shade. So I went ahead and put that in between Extreme Burgundy and Rose Seduction. Next, I had to add my absolute favorite shade on the lower lash line. So I took Divine Dusk and I swept it all across my lower lash line, just completely from end to end. Then I went in to blend the top with the bottom with a little more Extreme Burgundy and finished off with my fave sparkly goodness, Astral Pink Moon in the inner corner. Then I took a clean blending brush and just blended everything together so that it was seamless. And that's all she wrote. Now let's recap here. We've got Extreme Burgundy, we got Divine Dusk, we got we have Rose Seduction, and we have Gold Lust. So we have used 4 shades on the eyes. Yep, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 with Astral Pink Moon. So that is 5 of the 10 shades in the palette. Pardon me, 6, because we also use Sextraterrestrial. So that's 6 of the 10 shades in this palette on my eyes right now. Then we went in with blush and highlight. So for blush, I used Naked Blush, and I just went in twice with my airbrush from Sephora Pro. And I just put 2 layers of blush on my cheeks. As you can see, it does show up on deeper complexions as a blush. You can use this one. You don't have to use Rose Seduction. You absolutely can, but you don't have to fall on that one. You can use the lighter pink. It still shows up. I wanted to show you all that. Then for highlight, I used Skin Show Opal. So we used 8 out of the 10 shades in this palette for my face today. This is such a versatile palette. And I know you guys, my J-Bays are like, here she goes selling me again. I have to share my love of things with you guys. I want everybody to feel like this. I want everyone to be excited about Mother's new Mothership because it's magnificent. It truly is. For my lips, I do not have the lip kits because I have pretty much everything that was in the lip kits with the exception of the softcore lipstick. So I went in with a couple of Mother's lip liners. I used Night Fever around my outer perimeter of the lips, just overlined slightly with Night Fever, and then I filled my lip in with 1980, which is a beautiful iridescent magenta. And I just filled my entire lip in with that. Then I went in with the Divine Rose Lust Gloss, and I just topped that all over the lip liner. And then I finished off with a little bit of sparkle with Pale Fire Nectar in the center. So we are giving you pat on pat on pat today. Of course, my complexion is Mother. It is MD26 in the foundation, and then MD23 and M20 for the concealer, honey. We finished off with the loose powder in 3 and the under eye powder in medium. So I used every single thing that I have from Mother today, and I hope that you enjoyed this look because I really enjoyed doing this review. Y'all already know this is a banger. I just wanted to let you know from my perspective why. And if we can have a chit chat and all that in the comment section, y'all let me know which shades in the palette are your favorite, how many looks you've created with this palette already. I mean, it's only been out for about a couple weeks, but how many looks have you created with this palette? Did you check out the masterclass with Mother? Did you enjoy yourself? What tips did you take from it? Also, wanted to mention that I used to have her Fetishized mascara, but it did expire on me. Do you like that mascara? Because if you do, I'm probably going to pick up another one. And I just want to know, how y'all feel about that, because she did some really great things with the mascara. And I was like, ooh, I should probably pick it up again. So let me know how you feel about that. Are you planning to get it if you haven't purchased it already? And how do you feel about what I've said about the Gold Lust color and whether or not this one is the most wearable and why? Go ahead and let's talk about it in the comments section. I want to thank everyone for watching today. Comment, like, subscribe if you haven't already. All the information that you need from this video is in the description box for you. And I do get a small commission when you shop through my links. So if you'd like to support the channel, that's the best way to do it. If you would prefer to donate directly, I do have a couple of links to Cashapp and PayPal in my description box as well. Thank you all again. I'm going to see you all on Sunday. My schedule has changed a little bit, so it's not going to be 1 p.m. It's going to be 5 p.m. and I will be here this time. I was super sleepy the first time, but I'm going to be here this time on Sunday. And don't forget, if you haven't already, I just have to mention this because it was just such a great conversation. Check out Kinky Sweat's channel for the interview with AJ Crimson that Kelsey Brianna J, and Glam Girl Chelsea did yesterday, which was Wednesday. Y'all, AJ Crimson is just incredible. Like, I feel so much warmth and love from him, and pride, and just inspiration. It was such a fantastic conversation. If you haven't watched it, you definitely need to watch it. I'll link that for you as well because, whew, amazing. And there was a surprise guest, so please check that one out, okay? Y'all, just got an email from Pat, so I'm gonna head out, you guys. Have a great day. Love you all so much, and I will see you next time. Bye.